Hey, beautiful people. I hope that you are. Well, it's 10:30. Oh wait, I need to charge my phone. Darn it! I need my computer. I hope that you guys are having a great Friday. Give me a second because my laptop is gonna die, and I'm gonna get right into the commentary, and I'm gonna get out of here. Okay. Hold on for a second. Uh, Hang on. Okay, I titled this Constantly Judged. Let me get right into the commentary. I hope that y'all having a great day. And what's good, Daniel? What's good, Robin? Um, y'all gonna have to let me rock out for a second because I came live at the last minute. But as I was roaming these YouTube streets and just kind of doing my thing, I had a really busy day. And this isn't really for anybody or targeted towards anybody. So don't get offended. I'm speaking in general, right? There's been a lot of things and a lot of criticism my way. I feel judged almost every day, right? I can't even change my hairstyle without people commenting, and I see the mods removing comments from my chat and stuff like that. And believe me, this is not even about that. It's not me whining. I don't like streaming off camera, but it's always something. What's good, Charlie? What's good, Zero Lightness? What's good, Robin? What's good, Daniel? So I'm gonna speak very hastily, Dan. Uh I'm gonna just tell you guys about some of the stuff that I see. When I'm talking about constantly judge, I know I'm not the only one. There's some people that is so picked apart, but I got some stuff that's on my mind now. There's a lot of people that's talking about, oh, they're on this journey, or they quit smoking weed, or they're eating too much, etc., etc. And people send me emails like I'm supposed to cover these stories. But I'm thinking I can't really support that stuff. I'm happy that they have their supporters and they have their followings, right? But what I see is every time a certain some people on this app is in a situation, they're on here begging, they're on here with their hands out and stuff like that. And my heart wants to bleed. But these are the same people that was judging MU, the same people that hey Daquan, I'm gonna get off the chat, you guys. Let me get through this rant real quick. All right. The same people that was judging MU and had all these things to say, and everybody watched because it was their favorite content creator, and I stood on my own, right? Because that's what I do. I don't need people to back me up, but I'm just watching. These are the same people that's always begging for something, that wanted to put down my journey. I'm sitting over here telling you guys, pouring my heart out to you guys, talking about, you know what? I quit. And methamphetamines, a hard drug to kick, only for other people to mock that, right? And try to put me down, discredit me, do whatever they could. And when somebody was fighting with MU, everybody else wanted to jump on just for the commentary, just for $1. And it's the hustle of YouTube for me. I understand that sometimes people have their situations, but I have never seen somebody in a situation put somebody down that supports themselves. And I get it. And I'm just thinking of a person in particular that I have never done anything to, and all of a sudden I'm supposed to feel a certain kind of way because they changed their commentary. I don't care. I'm glad that everybody is doing well and great, but let me tell you something. I just think that it would be nice if we supported each other. But I keep thinking about how people wanted to tear MU down. Okay? And I'm not going to be that person. I don't want any harm to come to anybody. But how is it that people that struggle with, shout out to Brooke, who put on an amazing show today. I loved her commentary. In that show, there's people talking about food and their addiction, and how it makes them feel better. What's the difference from a food addiction versus a drug addiction besides one is legal if they are both killing you? I'm glad that we are having these kind of conversations, but I've been out here battling, and my heart does go out to people like that. But I'm just here to tell you guys, when I go off for a reason, because it's been a bunch of nonsense on these damn apps. How you doing, Logical Thoughts? Hey, you guys, I see you. Hey, Lansky, let me rock out for a second. It's been a bunch of nonsense out here. I don't come out here talking about I need stuff. I don't expect y'all to pay for trips and my clothes and all that stuff. Why? I appreciate y'all getting memberships and supporting me like that. I appreciate everything that you guys do and the support that you guys give me. But I do notice, and I'm telling you guys this for a reason, we shouldn't put people down for their addictions, because I notice that it's only certain people that's put down. Okay, when somebody says you're smoking marijuana, everybody applauds them. But why am I judged so harshly? And why do people try to make it seem as if somehow you struggled with the drug addiction, you are any better or worse than anybody else? I see these other people going on these journeys, wanting something, profiting off of other people's pain and stuff like that. And all I'm saying is, if you're going to judge one, then judge the other. I will never do that. I support everybody that's on a journey, but usually people that's on a journey supports other people on a journey. Okay, I have never seen so many people attack someone, judge them, pick them apart when their own lives aren't together. And so many people come on this app trying to act like they have it all together and they don't. So when I come on here and I'm like, you know what, sometimes I'm not feeling well or I'm covering something, it's never to put anybody else down. But I just find it interesting that all I got to do is log on, and there's so many women mostly that want to attack MU. So I think that Brooke's live stream was awesome, and it sparked up great conversations. But I'm just pointing out that if one thing can harm somebody or kill them, because food can do that, right? We eventually will talk about obesity. I've been telling y'all that for days and stuff like that, heart disease and all of that. You cannot judge somebody else for doing what made them feel better. So the arguments in Brooke's chat was, hey, there's trauma. Some people can't just put down that fork. People body shaming. So are they not going to body shame anymore in the beef sector? That's all I'm asking. So you can't put down somebody else who dealt with trauma a different way. All right. And those are conversations that I just want to have. I've been picked apart by so many people, and that is fine. But the only reason I am picked apart is because I was very transparent about my journey and my struggles. I would have loved to send in a donation regardless if I liked this other person. I'm not mentioning her because I don't even dislike this other person. I'm making a point. Because I don't like to see people in a bad way. But then I think, like, damn, didn't all these people come for me when I did nothing to them? And that was just insane. But that's what I'm gonna say about that. I just think that, sometimes people do get in a situation, but I think, like, wow, all these people that just constantly tried to put me down, even when I got baptized and I went on a spiritual journey. You know how that was mocked so many times by people, but the very same people that went on their own spiritual journey can't be happy for somebody else. And it would be nice if we were a group of people that could stick together. I understand the beef sector is gonna beef and stuff like that, but some of these things just went beyond that. I'm telling you guys, addiction is addiction, a journey is a journey. And I'm sitting there like, well, damn, I'm just out here every day giving to you guys and saying, hey, I'm showing you the other side. I'm showing you what is it like to recover. When I decided to go to school, that was a big deal. You know why? Because I lived a very comfortable life. I live a comfortable life. If I didn't want to do anything, I ain't got to do anything. But I'm like, I wasn't fulfilling my purpose and it felt empty. Now I'm happy. I feel like, wow, I'm on the right track. It took me a couple years to get here. Hey, you guys, go through what you're going through because there's another side. And it was one thing. You guys saw me get sober, right? You saw me struggle that year. I asked those questions on my community wall for a reason. Hey, Chef, I'm out of the chat for a second because, I came live kind of last minute because I wasn't going to go live today. So I post those things for a reason. Is relapse a part of recovery? I'm not really thinking about, I'm trying to see what the majority thinks, right? Relapse is a part of recovery because sometimes you don't get it that first time. Okay, it takes a few times. And if you think that it's not a part of recovery, then I think that you're looking at addiction wrong, because the ideal is to have less relapses until you don't have relapses. But for somebody trying to quit something, so it's easier to talk about quitting a food addiction, okay? When you're trying to diet and you cheat sometimes, it's because it's hard to give something up because your brain becomes used and dependent to that substance. So you don't give up just because you had a relapse. We are not encouraging relapse. But if you become sober after the third try, that relapse was a part of your recovery. You understand? So even if you're trying to lose weight, because let's face it, food can kill you. Okay. It causes a lot of illnesses. Do you quit because you had a soda? Do you quit because, hey, this is hard? No, you keep going. So it is a part of recovery. But I'm telling you guys that I fought my way. I did it so I could help other people. And I'm very passionate about that. But it does make me kind of look and say that people that struggle with drug addictions, if you are not a popular content creator, well, I'm very controversial, whatever, the very same people that's putting you down are not even in a position, like, how am I gonna say that? People put you down when they're going through their own stuff, but they want you to feel bad, and they try to raise the bar so high that they can't even feel it. So I don't really worry about what people say about me on this app. They could talk about me all day long because nobody pays MU's bills. I take care of myself. But addiction is addiction. I'm glad that these conversations are sparked, but when people try to pick apart what I look like, what I'm doing, who am I with, my family and stuff like that, that shit is weird. Okay. And I don't want you guys to think that I'm putting people down for needing something. Absolutely not. Help out if you can help out. But don't put somebody else down when they're going through something themselves. Because honestly, a lot of us have health problems, a lot of us have issues, a lot of us are depressed, and a lot of us have a lot of things going on. And I hate streaming with my camera off, but Lansky says, as long as you love yourself. I do love myself. I do. And I don't know, you guys put a one in the chat if I'm making sense to you guys. But there was some really Lansky. I adore you, Lansky. In an appropriate way. There's been some days where I was just like, damn, you know, if only people could log off sometimes. I'm making sense to you guys? Okay. If only people could log off sometimes, because all day, and I get it because I'm the same way too. I get online so I can give y'all some commentary. So I'm not judging. But all day we're caught up in somebody else's life. And sometimes that person is so busy trying to get you to admire them, and they're trying to put their best self forward until they need something. Then they want your donations, right? As they're putting you down every day. And you really have to know who you are and look at them and not let them raise the bar for you or raise the standard or tell you who to like and not like, because they're only showing you the best part of themselves. And sometimes we get so caught up in another person's life that we're not focusing on our own life, right? I'm very supportive over people around me. I'm supportive over the challenges. I'm supportive over a lot of stuff, but I cannot help but notice how these very same people love to put down not just me, but a lot of other people, and it's for commentary. That's it. Because it can't be for anything else, because it just can't be. And I'm going to leave it like that. Now, there's something else that I noticed on these YouTube streets. There's something else. You've been making sense for over a year. Don't let anyone have you think otherwise. Let me go into wrap. But before I do, I'm gonna pin a link because I'm gonna get out of the chat for a second. And you guys hit it if you want to communicate with me, or put a question mark before your sentence, and I will notice your commentary. Chef says you've been making sense for over a year. Don't let anyone have you thinking otherwise. Let me tell you something. I'm not angry. I'm just giving y'all some commentary. So please don't think I'm in a bad mood or anything like that. Hey, Lakendra. Oh, Lakendra. Okay, you're listening. Good. Don't let me forget to talk about your situation later. But I'm just sharing something with y'all. I'm not thinking good or bad about any of these people. I'm just saying what I'm noticing, because if I could show y'all my emails, I won't. There's so many people that's like, damn, they end up depressed. They end up a lot of like feeling a lot of ways. And everybody likes the entertainment until it happens to them. When you are in the middle of something and you got a bunch of people just putting you down and making commentary off of you and your situations, that never feels good. Now, I'm not talking about a particular sector, but I'm talking about in general. There's a lot of people struggling with a lot of stuff. And I think that it's great that we're having these conversations. Today was actually a good day with commentary. I was like, bring it. It was really good. You had Lemon, who, wait, was it Lemon? No. Sir King, who had Timothy Blaine over there. That was a great conversation. I loved it. And there was a lot of highlights. But I got to tell you this right now. There's just some things like that's just bizarre to me. When I see an overweight person talking about another overweight person, or men compare or body shaming at women, calling them, all these kind of names, when they have their own situations and their own heavyweight people in their own household, I just look back and I'm like, wow, people don't really see this shit for what it is. It's just commentary, people talking, and it has no substance at all. How are you going to be several hundred? How are you going to have somebody that's plus size talking about another person, and that person's not even your woman? Why are these men even trying to talk about another woman's body when that's not even your woman? And then they want to sit up there and call themselves a man. Let me tell you something. To me, Brianna's one of the she's one of the prettiest content creators over here. Okay. Regardless of that, it's not even my place to judge. If I didn't think that, I would just say nothing at all. But I just can't believe the people that also have body image issues judging her. Okay. I'm just saying, because people that are confident with themselves, people that are secure, they really don't go around putting people down. Honestly, most of the people that judge me for my addictions, and I forgot to pin a link. Most of the people that judge me are addicts, okay, that have put me down. And then there was this one person in another sector. I don't go off on people that's in another sector. You can have it, boo, right? But there's another person in another sector was talking about, oh, MU this, MU that. Okay, in the Kwame Brown sector of all places. Motherfucker, listen, only to say she had a crack addiction. So just because a person gets out here, now I'm not going to address nonsense, and I completely ignore that person because I know they just wanted a dime off of MU. But I look at it, and those people that project onto me have their own issues, but instead they want to judge me instead of fixing their own life. At least I came out here and I tell y'all what you're dealing with. Okay. That's what I'm saying. And let's call another thing a thing. I remember a certain person that went around talking about my looks. I'm so ugly, blah, 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 knowing good and damn well she had her own body image issues, face issues, and all kinds of other things. But yet it's easy for a woman to look at me and judge me instead of judging herself. All I'm saying is we just got to get it together. We just do. I choose to ignore a lot of people because I have my own issues, and I come out here like, damn, you know what? Let's go. Let's do it, blah, blah, blah. And if I curse somebody out, then I'm the bad person, and they fall apart and play victim because I spoke up and said, hey, this isn't cool. And when I set boundaries in my life, you know what? I've had more problems sober than I ever had using drugs. When I was using drugs, everybody liked me. I was so cool. Okay? But I cut mother suckers off, and they all had a problem. But I don't know. Why are all these men attacking these women that Brianna ain't trying to look good for them? She should be able to come on this app, do her thing, without people just attacking her for the size of her body. Now, I am more appalled by people that have body. I don't know. But it seems to me as if the body shaming and all that, I guess it's gonna stop. Maybe. But there are addictions other than the one I dealt with, and food you can become addicted to food, but I don't think that's a reason to shame anybody. I think the questions are why, and I think that's one of the hardest things to get together because food is everywhere and it's comforting. and it makes us feel good. So when you tell somebody they can't have that, I can't judge. Honestly, you're gonna have to look at Brooks' commentary for yourself. There was a lot of gems that was put in there. I'm gonna have to look at it again because I don't really understand all of it. I know that for me, I do struggle with food as well, but I don't have those kind of issues. But it doesn't mean that their struggle is any better or worse than mine. It's all a struggle. Okay. So let me drop this down link. I forgot. Oh, I did. So it's all a struggle. And whew, I just had to think about that. But as far as anything else, I come out here and I don't ask anybody for anything. And all the ones that had the nerve to look down on me have always had their hand out. And yeah. So I had to look at this, and that's why a lot of times I push back because I'm just like, you need to judge yourself and get yourself in order before you ever come for you. And that is all I had to say about that, you guys. I didn't want to use any names or anything like that. I don't need to. I'm speaking in general. YouTube is the new hustle. It's an addiction, and people want you to go out and work as they stay home and collect, all because they could tell a good story, as they want to say that this person and that person is so bad, blah 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 blah. And a lot of the things that I went through I really didn't have to go through, but because all they have to do is say, oh, MU is an addict, it doesn't matter that they're one themselves. And because of people's thoughts about that, everybody just kind of looked the other way. All right, but hey, I'm here, I'm proud of that. I Next month I hit my 2-year mark, which I never even thought I would get to. So I really have nothing to complain about. But all of this begging and this whole, you know, I don't know. I don't know. I'm gonna leave it like that. I'm good. Let me just read what y'all have to say. Hey Magnum. LaKendra. Oh, LaKendra. Okay. I'm done with my commentary, you guys. I went through it just that fast. But I was feeling heavy. It's like, dang. I I'm just glad to be over here and just be able to have a conversation with you guys and stuff like that. Did you guys like Brooks? What did she do? Debates today? I did. I thought it was awesome. There's a lot of basic things you can be addicted to. That's exactly right, LaKendra. You can be addicted to a lot of things, not just a substance. And it's, when we find something that helps us get through our day or pain, because there's some things that just hurt in life. Life is difficult and you try to get through it the best that you can, right? And you learn from your mistakes. Don't dwell on them. You just learn from them and become smarter, because it's all a journey. There's a lot of things, and nobody asks to become addicted to stuff, but once things become a problem and it's interfering with your quality of life, it's an addiction. And I was in this community, I'm not going to shout the channel out. I was is that all they did was talk about weight, right? And mostly Caucasian, from what I could see. And the amount of support and the way they were talking about it and giving this information, I was just like, wow, I'm going to work like that for a community, for us, so we can have that too, because we should be able to talk about things like that. But it was definitely a different vibe over there. It's always a different vibe when I go to these places. The only reason I'm not going to share them is because when I was over there with the doctor and working, talking about addiction, hitting their panels and stuff like that, and I showed you on my community wall, they got trolled. They had people defaming them, and we're talking about like medical doctors and things like that. The most ignorant shit I've ever seen. So I'm reluctant to share that, but all you guys got to do is send me an email, and I will, hey Bush Baby, and I will give you those references and places that I go, people that are therapists that are willing to work with people and things like it, like marriage and family counselors. You know what I'm saying? That believes in the stuff that I'm doing. But right now I'm just reluctant because I don't want them to get trolled and stuff like that, like this doctor did. That's not cool. But I really do believe in the stuff that I'm saying and what I'm doing. But I had to say, like, damn, I came out here and I told you guys I had this spiritual experience over there. And it was just funny how they tried to make it seem like I was scamming, I was doing all this shit. But then you got somebody else that's like, oh yeah, I found God and stuff like that because they went through something. But yet MU was put down. So I just look at these things like, That's why I don't listen to people. I just stand by myself. If you rock with me, I rock with you, because you really can't go by what these people are saying is good and bad, because they're so quick to demonize or put somebody else down. And then when they go through it, they want everybody to accept them. But I feel that, thank God I was strong enough to stand. Thank God I didn't fall when they were trying to say that there was pictures of me out there getting high and stuff like that. I was strong enough and I believed in what I was doing and said, you know what, I'm not going to worry about that, because I know I didn't get high. I know I'm not on methadone or anything else. But because people want to discredit my journey, they want to tell you guys that I'm on methadone and all these ADHD medications, and they sound stupid as hell, because methadone is for heroin and I'm not on anything. But because they want you guys to think that, it's like, no, I really am putting in this work. This is not a gimmick for me. This is not something where I can pick it up and put it down. This is something, a fight that I have to do for the rest of my life, and I want to track the good and the bad, the the struggles. I blogged the CPS experiences of people calling CPS on me, of the withdrawals. I came online. Some of you weren't around long enough for that, but I did. And the reason why is because there's a lot of people that's struggling, and I was hoping that some people that was also on day one or day two would be able to relate. I do believe in recovering out loud, but when I got out here, when I was looking for videos, they all had a couple years under their belt or months. I didn't have that, so I decided to have those videos so somebody else, or somebody who had like a family member, would see the struggles of withdrawal and try to make it through. I did not know it was going to be this difficult. I did not know that I was going to have to try to defend stuff that shouldn't have needed defending. Like, some of the stuff I went through was just dumb. All right. But as I got sober and healthier, I set more boundaries. There's no regrets as far as that goes. And I have clearly moved on. But will I ever get on here begging? No. You guys are my friends, my community, my subscribers. I appreciate y'all donations. I appreciate you guys getting memberships, because it does help me when I go out there, because I'm always giving to people. Uh I that is my love language. It's been taken advantage of, but will I stop helping people when I can, whether it's my time, whether it's talking to people? No, because overall the experiences have been amazing and the feedback I get has been amazing. And I won't trade that for anything in the world. If you're going through something or you have a condition or something like that, try reaching out to somebody that got that same condition. I'm telling you right now, it's going to make you feel better about where you are. It's going to it just does something to you. Now, I'm not telling you to be stupid, all right? And I'm definitely not telling you to help someone out if you cannot, especially financially, because there's other ways that you can help somebody else. And sometimes people just need to hear something. But I'm like, wow, I'm just like, wow. Now, okay, I'm done with that commentary, you guys. Let's just change the subject. I'm addicted to reading books because I was using my kid's library card more than them. So, Lakendra, so I'm done with that commentary unless you guys want to talk more about it. But Jay Candace says all about clicks and views. It is all about clicks and views. But right now, there's a lot of people fighting out here in these streets, right? A lot of friendships falling apart, which is always unfortunate. And then you just see people going at each other. So, I think they'll be okay. Things pass and blow over, but I just stay out of that stuff. Now, as far as Lakendra goes, Lakendra, I don't know. You did come up here and speak about a particular person. She did respond and drop a link for you. I'm not sure exactly. I don't know if Lakendra's still in my chat, but I don't know where you are at that situation. But I don't know. But I kind of have a better understanding of what went on because I was in the clouds and this person was playing the video, which I know this person, so I had a feeling she would. So I don't know. I hope that you're doing all right, y'all. All right, you guys. I think I'm gonna get out of here. But I said what I was thinking. And I don't want you guys to leave and think that I am putting people down for needing something. Absolutely not. I'm just saying that I found it interesting that the stuff that I talk about and the like my journey has been put down so much, but when it's someone else, it's like, like wow. And I'm not telling anybody to admire what I'm doing, but don't shit on it either, because if I go to respond, then they're gonna feel a certain kind of way and say that I'm attacking them. Somebody told me, but I didn't watch. No reason she all talk. Okay. Okay, because I remember you were asking for a link and she had dropped the link, but I didn't know if you seen it or not. So you're saying that you're just gonna ignore it. Okay. I get it. So, I did end up dropping down and tried to talk. I really don't make my way over in a sector that much, mostly because I'm working a lot now. But I did want to follow through with that and kind of see if you guys had worked that out, Lakendra. So, okay. We are proud of you, Magnum. Thank you. Thank you. And I'm not trying to offend anybody at all. I'm glad that we're having these conversations. I'm glad that the commentary is going a certain way. I know that I have a lot of work to do, and I'm not telling you guys not to express yourselves to me. I'll do better trying to control my temper. Well, I can't guarantee that, but I am glad that we're having these conversations. All right, I'm glad about it. But I am looking at things. I'm like, if you're gonna talk about somebody, at least don't have the same issue. Don't be. But most of the people that's talking about you guys, that's judging you guys, if you really, really look at the ones that put you down and that judge you, they're not in your space. They usually have less than you, the same problems, and they're hiding it, disguising it by going off on you. And it's something in them that they see in you that's making them go off. Because I noticed the people that go off on me, there's really nothing to say back, because I'm looking like, damn, they're talking about me, yet they got this, and that going on. All right. And one thing about me, no matter what I did, my addiction was to myself. I owe my family something. And there's been some ups and downs, but it's my family that I worry about, because they're in my life and they're so supportive over me. They're proud of me, and I have a great support system. But it did take a while to get there. But I got to tell you though, when you do decide to do something for yourself, you're going to have people putting you down. And I think that it's because you're going to have people that support you, but the ones that do put you down are the ones that are either stuck, stagnant, you changing your life, well, they might start looking at theirs like, damn, why am I not doing it? And those are the ones that's going to try to put doubt in your head, but it's their doubt and their fear. And I remember, and one of the reasons I really like Brianna a lot, and I'm not trying to say Brianna's name a lot because she's a content creator, I'm a content creator, but there was a time where I was gonna drop out of these classes because I'm like, no, I was so, the first couple days was great, but then it got real. I'm like, damn, I gotta get up. And I don't mind getting up early, but I have to drive an hour to these classes. And then it was like, I just wanted to, I don't know. I wasn't used to, I don't know. It was just different. And she's like, no, you got to keep going. You got to finish. And now here I am starting two more, starting another course, going to another college, and going on to, actually get a degree. But it took me a while. And yeah, I just appreciated that, because I'm like, this stuff is a commitment. It is not easy, but I absolutely love it. And I never thought I would feel so fulfilled. Okay. I feel great. Nothing ain't never gonna change. I mean, everything I said, besides it's only 10 to 15 people listening anyways. Lakendra. Okay. Okay. No, I didn't realize she was blocked. And so I did unblock her, but I'm not sure. Yeah, I did. And we don't, anytime somebody addresses somebody, I try, and I'm familiar with them a little bit. You guys know I came from over the black sector, so I gave her a heads up, like, hey, this is going on, blah, blah, blah. And she did respond, but look, Kendra, I was just telling you. How much is a wrench? I don't want to get blocked. Why would you get blocked, Magnum? Why would you get blocked? I don't, what's good, 3K? How you doing? What is their definition of happiness? They don't seem happy. I agree, Jay Cannon. To me, they're definitely. Let me tell you something. When you turn on this application, YouTube is an addiction. It raises your dopamine levels. Like you do feel a certain thing from it, and I think that's why people come out here and they get like their fulfillment, right? And there's a lot of narcissists on this app because they get their narcissistic supply, and you will see a lot of narcissists on here. That's not a coincidence because they can pretend to be whomever they want to be, and they're just for the hey, praise me, make me feel like I'm great. But if you disagree with the narcissist, you see that anger and that facade fades. I know y'all seen it. Hey, Lady Nika, I'm just speaking, I'm just talking, I'm just ranting tonight. So there are a lot of narcs on here. And Lady Nika, what did you think of Brooke's live stream? Were you in there? I thought she did a really good job. So what was I talking about? Yeah, so Jay Cannon says they don't seem happy. I don't think that they are. And it's one thing to come on here and just be like, you do your commentary. Everybody goes through things sometimes. But don't put somebody else down for what they're going through when you ain't got your own shit together, okay? That's what I have to say about that. I don't know. Lady Nika, missed you today. I hope you watch the replay. Watch the replay. Oh, that was good. I'm so proud of her. Lady Nika, that was so good. And I was talking about the body shaming and stuff. So did the beef sector agree that they weren't gonna do, in their words, fat jokes? I don't call them that. But so now is there more rules or stuff? I couldn't tell, but from Brooke's live stream, it sounded to me. Let me tell you what I really liked about Brooke's live stream. Not only did she speak about topics like the DNA stuff like that I'm interested in. When they were talking about their issues with eating, body images, there was a lady, I can't remember her name, who was talking about like she had the gastro bypass surgery. I think that's what it's called. I really didn't realize what all is involved with that surgery. And let me tell you this. So I've heard some people say that was cheating and stuff like that. It's really not. If you are over a certain weight and considered obese because your BMI is higher than I can't remember the numbers, if it was 30 or 40, something like that. I have to brush up on it before I can talk about these addictions. It is a struggle, and if you get the surgery, you still have a lot of things to do. And good night, Bush baby. Hey, Rodney, you still have a lot of things to do. And she spoke about that. And I was like, these are very real things. And as she was talking about like some of her health things, and I'm just interested in if those things got better as they lost the weight. So that was a really good conversation. Brooke did a really, really good job. And let me tell you something. When I first used to watch the Beef Sector, I've told you guys this more than once, but they weren't really covering each other so much. I didn't even realize they were called Beef Sector or anything like that. I used to just watch their commentary, watch the reviews, different stuff like that. So they do put commentary out there. Yes, they fall out, and we all there for a good roast and a drag and all that. But it's also awesome when they put out that commentary. And Brooke definitely did her thing today. I was so proud of her. She had a good crowd, and it all the way through it was a good conversation. If you guys missed it, check it out. I think I might have forgot to share it. So it was good. And if you guys saw it, I'm pretty sure you know what I was talking about. Other than that, what's going on? I'm just kind of out of the loop right now because of work, which I'm going to take tomorrow off, Lady Nika. I mean, that 504, sometimes I ain't shit. My memory's so bad. 504 girl had a good conversation as well. She was over there talking about something she knows very well. And I was so proud of 504 girl. And if she wants to share that link in his chat, she sure can, because she put a really good, she did a good podcast. Although I was annoyed with a person on that podcast, but that's not her fault. Lakendra says, I'm a peaceful person, but I don't forgive anything when it comes to my children. They are my life. I don't let people play with my real life. Sorry again, because I was upset I did that to you. Lakendra, this is an open panel, and you guys can come up here and speak about what you want to speak about. I was like drained. Now I don't. Yeah, the only thing is whether I rock with the person or not. If they decide to respond, they're always going to be allowed to respond, though. And I try to keep it if that person's not there. Then I'm like, hey, you know what? She's not here, allegedly, stuff like that. But I hear you. I'm not discounting how you felt with that. Screenshot this MU. I smoke. She did it. Okay. I smoke too much weed. Okay, Lady Nika, listen. You had a comment. You said a comment over in Pizarro's chat, right? And I know you guys think that I did a lot. She just made me laugh right now. She always does that. You guys think that I am against marijuana and that I spoke about marijuana a lot. Now listen, I totally disagreed with you until I had that conversation with Pizarro about methamphetamines, and I'm like, damn, that was hard as hell. But I was really on this marijuana kick, you guys talking about it. Now, Lady Nika, you're doing your thing, and you know, it relaxes you, and I get it. But we never even got to the core thing I wanted to talk about. But if I bring up marijuana again, then you guys are gonna think I'm picking on y'all. So I have to wait a little bit. But no, I'm she made me laugh. You guys, I feel pretty good, but it's not easy sometimes because I have a lot to do. And when I think I'm in the clear, I'm not. It's like hard to, I'm not even gonna get into like the relationships and stuff like that, but things are kind of hard and it's just not easy sometimes. You know, sometimes I do want to give up. Sometimes I was thinking like with the alcohol and stuff like that. I don't know if that came up on Brooke's panel, but I used to think, okay, no big deal. If I have a drink, I have a drink. But I don't feel like that now because in a weak moment, and I don't know, I'm not saying that I would never have a drink again ever in my life, but I'm kind of understanding why people say not to because I'll have to fight not using every single day. If I were to relapse, like I already, the sugar thing, that has been the hardest thing. But if I were to relapse, I'm like, I, I would lose everything. I won't have anybody to really, what would I do? So I can't afford to go backwards. But I would not be telling you guys the truth to say that. I mean, when I was on Pizarro's and I said, you know, I don't have cravings anymore, that's true. But there's something else. It's like I still have to be careful, if that makes sense. Like I can never say like I got it, I got it, I got it. Like there's still times where I think everybody at one time or another wants to give up sometimes, and sometimes you wonder if it's worth it. So what I do is try to remember not what it felt like to use, but try to remember the withdrawal and then how long it took me to get healthy. And then I think about how many people I will let down. And I try to remember that this feeling that I'm having is going to pass. So that's how you have to get through stuff. I don't care if it's smoking, I don't care what it is that's bothering you. There's going to be that moment where you think about like going backwards and try to remember it's not going to last, even though it feels like it's going to last. You got too much to live for. You have overcome so much. Keep moving on. Thank you, Lady Nika. I'm just telling y'all that, you know, sometimes you there are those moments where you're like, damn, can I go? Especially when something hits you and there's something heavy going on in your life, you know, you just want to feel better. So I try to remember. I think that I would let a lot of people down. And I'm not saying that like, oh, you know, poor MU. I'm not saying that, but I do think like that. Number one, I won't come live. Well, I probably would come live because I wouldn't realize that I was in trouble and I do dumb stuff. But a lot of people would be let down. So nah. Stick to your mocktails. Me and Pizarro went to what was that? But what's that? Yesterday. Is that the restaurant? Sir? Is that you would be recovering for the rest of your life one day at a time. I need to make a video about that. 504 girl, remind me. That's a good video to talk about. Also, I think it helps to journal your triggers. Good idea, Jay Cannon. My trigger, my triggers are interesting, and I can't really explain them. Uh, Places, I guess, or mostly, or I still get the occasional jackasses that will offer it to me and stuff like that, or send me an email, or like, hey, that's not really a trigger, that's more annoying than anything, but I always have to think, like, I can't just open up an email or stuff like that, or the cash apps to buy it. You guys, y'all know what I need to start doing is posting them when you guys cash at me for dope and shit like that. But that's part of sharing your journey online. You're gonna get that, but do I refund them? No, I just keep the cash apps, but I think I'll start posting the messages. Withdrawals are very painful. The Kendra, withdrawals are painful, but okay, so withdrawals painful, but I cannot say that meth withdrawal is painful in the same way that heroin or opioids is. And no, I've never withdrew from that. But with meth, you're gonna go through a depression. You're gonna sleep a lot. The depression is really, really bad, and then trying to be able to get up, and it's so hard on your body. That withdrawal is difficult because you want to feel better, and the problem is once you start feeling better, a lot of times the cravings kick in, and those cravings are really intense, so you have to ride all of that out to get to the other side. So it is painful. Kicking alcohol is really painful, but vent is healthy, and I'm listening. Lady Nika, I'm just venting right now. Thank you. Thank you. I was nervous. I told you that last night. I should have taken that headphone off. It had my audio crazy. Your audio seemed okay to me, 504 girl. I wish you would talk about that over here in these parts, but I understand why you don't. But you taught me something. Y'all gotta listen to 504 girls podcast, because when I thought I knew everything about her, stuff that she goes through, no, I didn't. I didn't. But okay, guys, let me backtrack a little. When I was talking about things and I was comparing some stuff, I was just thinking about how much I went through, and when I see stuff on here and I'm like, it's just hard for me because I try not to get hard and I try to stay compassionate and sympathetic towards people, but then I think about how many battles I've been in, and wanting to just point some stuff out. The same people, like I said, that put me down, that's going through their own journeys, that's always out here asking for stuff and stuff like that. It's like, damn, I really didn't need to go through all that, but I'm not gonna dwell on that. I'm just gonna keep going forward and hopefully just wish everybody the best. All right, leave it like that. We can have a conversation. Let me come back from training next week. Okay, I could tell because at work their blood pressure change, rapid heartbeats, hallucinations. Lakendra, are you talking about the withdrawals from methamphetamines? Hmm. So there's like some things that I'm about to go through in the next couple weeks. And for me, it's just for just things to make me feel more comfortable. I'll talk to you guys about it a little later as it gets closer to the date. But change is never is I don't do well with change, but I think that what I'm about to do is gonna be for the better. But anytime that there's a change, I get really like anxious and stuff like that because I have anxiety. And just keep me in your thoughts and your prayers, maybe. But I'll get through it, and I'll talk more about that as it gets closer. Okay, so we'll talk about that. Be right back, Mister's coming. Okay, Lady Nika, I'm not gonna be here long. I'm about to say good night, but I do thank you for stopping by. Take care of your man, girl. I love Lady Nika. She you know. Again, when I started watching Lady Nika, oh my God, she was doing her housewife stuff. And I forgot about her true crime commentary, but that's some good stuff. Bible Fergal says, I've seen people go through DTs withdrawals. Not pretty, Bible Fergal, me too. And that's something I don't wish on anybody because you can die from that one. And when I tell you that alcohol is one of the hardest things to kick, it's Once that alcoholism kicks in, after, the thing is, it takes a while, 10, what, like 10, 15, uh, 15 to 20 years, something like that. But it does have a hard effect if you drink in excess on your health. And that's not even a lot, what they consider excessive as far as the doctors go. So I'm glad I got that stuff off my chest though. Mm. So I was just thinking, like, damn, I never did anything to these people for all of that stuff, but I get it now. People, it's just commentary. But I'm on here blogging about a real journey that I'm on, and I'm hoping that some people will be able to relate to that and will, you know, I heard you say several times that you have what? I've heard you say several times that you have never addressed your childhood traumas. Let's talk about it. You are addressing the symptoms and not the. Oh, damn, Cannon. Okay. Actually, Jay Cannon, I have spoken about the root causes and how I started on that path. I have, but if I need to revisit it, I sure will. It's kind of layered, but I have addressed it, and that would have been, where's my notebook? I washed one of my notebooks that has my earlier streams on it, but I want to say I addressed it a lot in 2022. But we can definitely, if you have questions about it, I don't mind talking about that stuff. But I kind of have to have the mindset for it. With addiction, it's just different. You go through something. Number one, your brain is changed by trauma. It just is, and so that's why. Let's talk about childhood trauma, right? So, you know, trauma affects the brain, and as you get older, that's why some people, when they use something like alcohol, or it could be shopping, whatever, when they feel that when you're dopamine, it's how your the it has to do with dopamine, right? So some people maybe, didn't feel a certain way as a childhood and they were abused and stuff like that. And then they find something that makes them feel good in their body. Their brain wants more of it because it raised their dopamine levels. They had a different response. So that's why one person can drink. And it's not just trauma, it's other stuff too. But we know that trauma and addiction go hand in hand, right? And we self-medicate. Our brain responds to things differently. So people drink. People could drink the same amount, but one person can become addicted and another person doesn't, and it's how their brain responded to it. So people may drink, and it's easy to say you did this to yourself, but yeah, we choose to drink, but we don't choose to become addicted to that substance. We don't choose to be addicted to gambling or shopping or stuff like that. All right, but we our brain latches onto stuff and it wants more of that, and it's hard to quit. It's easy to say just stop doing it, but when it becomes an addiction, you can't. Hey, what's good, Rob? When you become addicted, you can't just stop like that. It's so easy. Now, I learned something. Oh God, Brooke, I'm so proud of Brooke. I learned a lot. Now, I have studied food addictions, right? And when I was in college, I took nutrition classes and all that stuff. Um, and I have been on the other side of a food addiction, right? Not so much with the overeating. And but today, listening to people talk about some of that stuff, it just did something to me. And I was like, you know what? I have to look at all of this the same. But so does other people, okay? Because addiction affects your life. And I'm telling you, food is a big one. I had to think carefully how I go forward with my food conversation. And I'm hoping, I ran it by a content creator who I adore. I'm not gonna say her name, and was like, hey, do you think this is a good topic when it came to food? Apparently I can offend some people, but I'm not trying to. I just think that it's if you look at the health stuff that it causes, and how many people, I mean, how these conditions can, you know end your life or change the quality of your life. I do think there are conversations to be had. Why are we, you know some I'm not gonna get into people of color and weight, but I do want to go there, and I just hope that you guys don't beat me up for the conversation, all right? But if you look at who's the heaviest in the United States, Why is it our people? But Jay Cannon, that is a good conversation, and I will either make that in an upload or go live about. Do you guys want that conversation though? How I started on meth? Hmm. I'll have to set that up, but I could tell you that it was, I had some really tough things growing up. And I'm not blaming it on that because I'm an adult now, but I also know that it's not uncommon for me to go down the road that I went down to the the services that I've owned, the adult entertainment type stuff and all of that. I really am not hard on myself because I do understand that when people go through a certain type of thing, they grow up a certain kind of way. And if you don't get help for it and recognize it, then it's really hard to change that. And I think that sometimes we're too hard on ourselves for some of the things that we've done as an adult, and we haven't taken the time to look at how we got here and some of the underlying causes of that. So those are conversations, but because my life is so layered, we could always break things down and make commentary from it. So that way, like, you know, we can have those grown up conversations. That would be good. I'm a BBW. Yes, you are 504. Zero says fried food. Fried food is interesting. Now, I fried food is interesting to me. Now, I do have a weakness, which is fried catfish. Okay, so I can't I can't really, when it comes to fried catfish. Now I can make Cajun style and all of that, but I love fried catfish. I love to make fried catfish, and you know, even though the saturated fats or whatever, or the cholesterol, whatever, I do like that. But when it comes to fried food in general, I just don't really have a palate for it, and it could be where I live. If I were to go home and my mom were to make her fried chicken or something like that, cool. But out here, California, it's hot. It's just, you're not gonna find it everywhere where I live, and it's just probably the convenience of it. But I live out here, and I just prefer more of a fish and veggie type diet. But it doesn't mean that I don't like fried foods and stuff like that. But the more you eat stuff like that, the more you crave it, like your palate, all that kind of stuff. My bad. I'm laying down just listening, trying to go back to sleep. Oh, you good, Rob? Dovey, how are you feeling? I was in your stream earlier. Let me say this to you, Dovey. But let me read these comments first. You can only be responsible for your actions. Just look down the road at the people. So many overweight people everywhere. Zero. Yeah, I'm gonna go back to that right now. Dovey, I saw your stream and I noticed like to go live and vent and do your thing. But I was so glad that you did not respond on a different platform because you have your own platform. And when they were telling you that you ran and stuff like that, Dovey doesn't run from anybody. Dovey is smart enough to go on her own platform and address what she needs to address. So there it is there. Especially arguing with somebody that's like half. No, you don't need to do that. Mm-mm. And you know why they're fighting with you anyway. But I am glad that you went to your own platform to respond, because that's exactly what I would have done. Y'all know I am a track star. If I don't deal with you and you want to fight with me, that sometimes y'all know me, I'm kind of tempered. But if I don't fuck with you and I'm not gonna engage with you, especially if we're not like around the same age or some shit like that, I'm gonna drop off the panel and go to my own home, right? With my own supporters. That's what I'm gonna do. Being from where I am, everything is fried or in a sauce. That food is delicious, 504 girl. It is. Y'all have a good night. Don't worry, that will never happen again in you. Oh, Lakendra, you're still on that? Hold on. Lakendra, you're fine. Don't worry about it. I don't get in the middle of people's, beefs or battles. I'll listen. Now listen to the other side, and I always wonder if it could be worked out or can you guys talk it out. But when it comes to your family and stuff like that, I can't tell you how to feel. I don't get in the middle of that, and you're always welcome. You don't got to worry about that. So what's good, you guys? I didn't run. I dropped down and went to my own yard. Dovey, I put that in your chat. I don't know if you saw it, but you didn't run. Yeah, The beef sector is sectoring right now. They have their stuff that they got going on, and I'm just on the outside listening. I like seeing OGs interact with OGs, and it's just commentary. But I don't like to see people's life actually affected. When it comes to the doxing and stuff like that, I'm like, no, you gotta, I mean, it's one thing to argue and do a roast and gag, and it's another to try to ruin somebody's life. That's not cool. Lakendra probably went to stand on the sidewalk. What you mean? So, yeah, you guys. But, anyways, I said my little rant, and it was peaceful. But that's pretty much all I have to say. Y'all got any final thoughts for me? I do appreciate y'all support. I have to do some editing and some uploads, but again, there's some things that's gonna happen within the next couple weeks that I can't really make commentary about. But I would love to have a great conversation with you, Misunderstood. You want to hit the link, Lansky? You can if you want to. 504 go set another live. Y'all know Dovey. Dovey is not about to run from anybody, but for me, it's like, why give somebody else commentary and let them get you all riled up just for a show when you can go to your own platform and respond? All right, that's a rookie mistake, and you got to have a lot of control to not let these people bait you, come from other sectors and start with you. And I say that, sir, who are you? Who are you? I'm not talking about that, man. I don't hang out with those young kids. No, you don't, Dovey. And it takes a lot of control not to fight with everybody that tries to fight with you. But I think that's a rookie mistake. Go to your own platform, respond, get your own commentary. Don't let these people profit off of you because they want to see you upset. And I'm saying that without knowing the complete situation. But I know I'm not going to respond to anybody that I don't want to respond to. I don't care if they said I ran. I don't care what they say. I just do my own thing over in my own space, and people are going to like it or they don't. So, what's interesting? This is a little off subject. But when I was at work today, it was really stressful, right? And I'm thinking, I just wanted to go. But I love my job so much. I'm getting ready to switch places where I work. Well, I love it so much. And I'm thinking, who would have thought I would like this shit? I just like it a lot, y'all. And I guess I'm just like in this zone right now, like with school and then working with addicts, having the pleasure to meet all these people. It's just so. When I tell you guys that my commentary is not putting people down, if people need a handout and they're asking their supporters for help, that's not, I hope they get the help that they need, right? All I was saying was I overcame a lot. And I've been out here putting out that message like, hey, and I was just calling out some double standards and stuff like that. But honestly, to be where I am today, I'm just like, thank you. I overcame all that shit. All right. And I want to see other people, we just got to keep growing and keep doing our thing and doing what's best for us. I'm going to get out of here, y'all. I love you guys because I don't want y'all to think that I'm putting people down out here. I'm not. Hey, Latina, I just say that, we all, I don't know. Let me leave that alone. I'll figure out how to put it better, or just look at my community wall for my posts. The only reason I didn't hit my channel, Lakendra, wait a minute. Yeah, how you doing, Latina? The only reason I didn't hit my channel will be focused on true crime dealing with children 18 and under. I don't want my channel took for BS. I'll be terminated in 1 day dealing with her. I didn't even know you had a channel. Let me see if I'm subscribed to you. Go to channel. Oh wait, do you make videos? You don't make videos, really. You got one video? Well, let me know if you ever do. I definitely will subscribe. But no, not everything's worth an argument. And I was just letting you know that there was a link drop for you if you wanted to talk about it. But you say you're done with it? Because I remember you saying you were over there and you went to have that conversation with her. It's empty. Come and see. Well, let us know, Lakendra. We'll subscribe. So that's why I was telling you guys. But all right, y'all have any other thoughts for me? Check out some of this, I think you guys will enjoy Brooke's commentary if you didn't see it. So, check that out. I don't know who's live right now. It's 11:40, so I'm gonna get some sleep and do some editing. But again, you guys, this was not a stream to put anybody down. It was kind of to say, like, hey, you know what? One person going through one thing and quitting something, uh, you can't really put one person down for, like, hey, what they're going through because you think it's worse than what you're going through, when really addiction is addiction and it's all the same. That was the point that I was trying to make. And I was also trying to say that a lot of people look at me like I'm just, y'all hear it, junkie, methy, blah, blah. Those things don't really hurt my feelings. But the reason why I speak out about it is because I know that there's people in y'all audiences that are going through the same stuff, right? And because they hear things like, they hear how people think about addiction and addicts and stuff like that, so they're afraid to get help, and they're afraid to reach out. So I call things out like, damn, this person just said they're addicted to food. This person is saying, hey, I quit, marijuana, blah, 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 or I quit drinking, and they're like, yeah, that's great. But addiction is addiction, and putting down one addiction over another makes no sense. I'm not saying that all drugs are alike, but addiction is the same as far as it ruins your quality of life. It affects your health and your mental well-being and the people around you. And so it's hard to quit something. So there's no way that I could ever put somebody down for what they do. I don't care what their struggle is. I would be a hypocrite. All right. So I just pointed it out that a lot of the people that want to put down misunderstood or be very disrespectful to me in chats, I just think that's wrong when they're going through their own shit. All right. And that's part of the stigma surrounding substance abuse disorder. And we're no different than anybody else, especially, the anger and some of the pushback that I get when I've never asked anybody for something. I pay for anything. I pay my own bills. If anything, I've always been one to help someone out. But all they have to do is say, hey, she's an addict, blah, blah, blah. And then it doesn't matter how you treat that person. And I'm going to always stick up for somebody who I'm more likely to stick up for other people than myself. I don't care what people say about me. But, we all have things that we got to go through. So don't listen to the people telling you that you're weird or you're off, because they probably have their own demons that they're dealing with. They're just not public about it. Okay. All right, you guys. So what's the anxiety regarding your job? Oh, look, Kendra, it's cool. If you still want us to subscribe, I'll still subscribe to you if you're going to make commentary, because it's smart to have subscribers as you're building your channel. So if you want us to subscribe to you, that's fine. Just let us know. So what's the anxiety regarding your job? The anxiety regarding my job is, well, when you're dealing with people, I'm very, like, it's like you don't want to make a mistake. I have to be very present and put everything out of my mind. It's hard to explain that, and I'm continuing to go school at the same time as I'm balancing my kids. And I know that's what everybody else has been doing all along, but for me, it's like, okay, this is like completely new. And I don't know if you really understand what I'm trying to say, but it's just, it's just different. Like, it's not just me now. It's like I have to show up and be very present. And it's one of the reasons I want to continue my education, because I want to be really, really good at what I do. And when you're dealing with people, you never really know what's going to happen, if that makes sense. So, but I get nervous anytime that I get anxious whenever there's a new experience, and I have to work through that anxiety. But the one thing I do believe in is being present and showing up. So no matter what I feel like, I get up, got to get the kids to school, then I go to work and that kind of stuff. But, that's what it is. It's just different. Sometimes I think about, you know what? No, let's not do that. But that's just your brain trying to protect you. So sometimes if you want to do something and you notice you're starting to change your mind, there's something about that You think about it too long, and then your brain, it triggers your brain to think something's wrong, and that's why you start to have that doubt. So whenever, that's one of the reasons they tell you not to hit the snooze button, right? It just does something psychologically to you. So I try not to overthink things. If I say I'm going to do something, I follow through and do it. That's just it. I don't give in to those thoughts. So yeah. So all right, you guys, I love y'all. I'll see y'all on the YouTube streets. I've been out here for an hour, and I will. What is today? Thursday, Friday. No, it's Friday. All she does is talk about me sad. There's Diva. I don't know really what's going on in that situation, but yeah, you were brought up. I'm not getting in the middle of it. I'm not even going to try to mediate that. I'm just going to stay out of it, and you two can. I don't think you're blocked. Well, let me. I'll check on my. Well, let me see on my Google account. If it's not on my Google account, right after the string, what is it, Diva? It just says Jollywood. I don't remember blocking that account, but that was a while ago. Let me check on my. But do you think that you two? Okay, well, Lakendra says for kids. Okay, I'm gonna stay out of that one. But if you guys can work that out, that would be awesome. Okay, let me look at my Google account real fast. I was asked about it. You was asked by who, Lakendra? Hang on, let me Google account. People, sure, I could do this right now. But if it's not on my Google, then that means that I have to look through the studio. So I have to do that after. I don't think you are. Let me double check though. I don't care. I got up to, I saw you live and knew that. Okay, good night, Diva. But let me do this right now because when I get out of here, I'm probably gonna crash. Damn, why do I got so many people on my block list, y'all? Okay, I don't see her. Dang, what mod? My mods are sweethearts. What are you guys talking about? I don't have any creepy mods, Diva. Okay, I don't see her, so I have to take care of it when I get out of here. But it'd be nice if you guys could just, Okay, I can't find it. Again, I don't know that situation. I don't know how it started. And I'm going to stay on the outside of that. What's good, Peach Tea? All right, y'all. I think you are trying to be everything for everyone. Just be the best for you. Everything else will fall in place. I agree with that, Jay Cannon. That's right. All right, y'all. I love you guys. I'll see you on the YouTube streets. I'm going to get out of here. And I probably won't be back until Sunday because I got lots to do. But you know me. You asked me if I talked to her. Oh, you talking about today? Oh, no, I did. No. Okay, so I did bring it up. She didn't bring you up today, Diva. I brought it up because I wanted to... I just wanted to see if there was any closure there because you did drop a link for her. That's it. I did ask her about it. She didn't just bring you up today. Okay. You could red ball it and see that I asked her. Okay. Good night, y'all. See y'all later. Thank you for hanging out with me. Bye-bye.